Welcome to Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani on NTV Houston. Thank y'all so much for joining us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. And so excited to be here today. Have a very, very special guest. I have to say very in front of every very, because every special guest I've had, every guest I've had has been more special than the last. It keeps growing. Again, all my guests are very, very special to me, near and dear to my heart. But today it hits home because I have a very old, near and dear friend from, I want to say, high school days, right? She's an amazing individual, wife, daughter, sister, lawyer, corporate law, pro bono work for legal clinics, helping out as much as she can to the point where she's a digital communications and a donor relations board member for Khuwaja Welfare Association, KWA, better known as, part of the KWA Foundation. We're talking to none other than Mrs. Zainab Khuwaja Ali. Really happy and excited to have her on the show in just a little bit. So stay tuned for that, as well as what I'm talking about now. Little personal updates I like to give when we start the shows. Talk about what's happening in my life. And of course, we'll get into some current events here and there as well. And hopefully you all have been enjoying us on the Facebook page. Follow Late Night Vibes, and you'll see it. It says LNV, just like it says on that sign right below me, and hit like and share. And while you're on Instagram as well, because I know you are, search LNV NTVH. It means Late Night Vibes on NTV Houston, and follow and share all the fun content and stay connected with me. I want to hear from y'all. And of course, while you're there, at the Anil Sohani is where y'all can find me personally, because I'm an open book. I'm a very open book, to the point where I share photos like this of me and my now legal wife looking forward to doing the traditional wedding with our family. And I have to say, it's been kind of not the most easy track. You're probably wondering, oh, you're Indian or Pakistani descent. You're a Desi, aka, right, of the Desh, or South Asian. You're probably doing a big blow-up explosive wedding. It must be so exciting and so fun. It's not really. It's very nerve-wracking, to say the least. Especially when families really want to. It's really no one's fault. It's just everyone is so excited that they want to celebrate the day of their, chunky monkey kid now on TV, their day, his wedding day. But it's a blessing for the family to get together. So as always, I'm pretty happy. But it's just one or two of those family members that kind of can get in under your skin, or whatever, in your nerves, on your nerves, or how the way to describe it is. And over the weekend, I was preparing. And we had a family gathering, and this is pretty much some of the conversation that went down.
Everybody agree. जरूरी नहीं Chinese करना. मेरे दिमाग में ये आया कि अगर गोश्त वाली दाल और ये बोल रहे हैं
Chinese तो समझ नहीं आ रहा है. Chinese कुछ नहीं समझ.
Yeah, so that video right there, even though it wasn't that long, just to kind of give you a little glimpse, a little sample example of my family when it comes to weddings. They can go on and on. Sometimes they'll talk about the most smallest, the slightest things, like, what do you mean you're having Chinese food? We don't want Chinese food. We can't do it. And I'm like, come on, get some lo mein in your system. You'll feel good. But it's quite all right. It's understandable. It's everyone has their own, feelings about how they want to celebrate. And sometimes they forget that, dude, I'm marrying my soon-to-be wife. Let us have a little time to do our thing. But again, it's just all love, and it just comes from so many different directions that miscommunications happen all the time. One of them being particularly my 19-year-old cousin, who will remain to be unnamed until she said it's okay to give her name out, called me up in the middle of the day last week, right before. Actually, I was on the way to this show. So the last show you saw me doing with my dear buddy Afreen Ali, the drive to work that day was very annoying and exciting at the same time. I'm excited because my family wants to take part, but my 19-year-old cousin's like, I cannot believe you dropped this bomb on us for you're getting married in a month. How am I supposed to lose weight? And I'm like, well, just do what you got to do. She's like, hold on 1 second. Next thing you know, she's just picking up her order from a drive-thru at Taco Bell. So I'm over here like, are you kidding me right now? You're getting mad at me for telling you a month in advance for my wedding, and you're having trouble losing weight, but you're in a drive-thru of a Taco Bell. How is that my fault? I don't understand. But anyways, 19-year-olds will be 19-year-olds, and I feel like that's where our generation kind of has our own differences. But other than that, so much has happened in the past month or so. And every episode, I try to catch you guys up to speed on what's been happening. Really, it's a lot of holidays. The holiday season is upon us, and we're in the middle of it. November, December time frame is really always the most busy time. But we forget about some of the lesser-known holidays. One of them being, I think it was the day after, or the day before, excuse me, of Thanksgiving. It was National I Love This Country Day or something along the lines of that. And I have to say, why do I love this country? Because it's hilarious. I think our country, the United States, is a very funny country, very funny in my opinion. It's a country where the most sharpest tool in the shed, or you don't even have to be the sharpest tool in the shed to become the President of the United States. And even the sharpest tool in the shed can also be denounced by whoever becomes the President of the United States. But it's quite all right. We have to use our own judgment there. And along with that, there are quite a few other holidays, such as, let me look through my little calendar updated. It is Turtle Adoption Day along the same week of Thanksgiving. And for 2020, I have to say, the turtle that I adopted this year, Mitch McConnell. Come on, you gotta admit, it's uncanny, right? Look at that. It's Mitch McConnell as a turtle. That's really the only adoptable turtle I'm excited about because he looks amazingly just like a turtle. And I don't know too many humans that look like turtles, so pretty cool. Mitch McConnell. Let's see what else is on this calendar of November, December. It was also the day after Thanksgiving, which is, again, the same day that we mentioned right now, Adopt a Turtle Day, Turtle Adoption Day. It was also Your Welcome Giving Day. And you're probably thinking, what? There's a Thanksgiving, but then there's also Your Welcome Giving? Yes, this is true. Google it. It's worth a Google. Your Welcome Giving Day is a thing. It's the day after Thanksgiving. And I want to give a very special Your Welcome Day, belated Your Welcome Day, a little spiel to that homeless man in New York that I gave $1 to, and I left my hand out of the window for too long, and he actually shook my hand to say thank you, and his hand was wet. So I have to say you're welcome. I've been tested for COVID and everything, so I'm clear. But yeah, that was you're welcome. That I just didn't know how to give because I was in shock and horror after having given $1 to a homeless man who shook it, my hand being very wet. So yeah, wet and cold hand, not a good look, not a good feel. What else we got on that calendar? So many different things. Then we had, of course, Customer is Wrong Day. You're probably wondering, customer's always right. That's what we hear, especially in the Desi, families that we have, family businesses and so on. Customer's always right is something that we have to see on the wall. It's customer's always right thing in our businesses. But all in all, there is a specific day, and that is the day after Black Friday, which is the Saturday after Black Friday. And it was Customer is Wrong Day. And I got to say, I should have looked at the calendar that day because that was the day I went for a little snip, a little beard snip, and here we are right now. That used to be me. And I went to Customer is Wrong Day, and here I am today. And goes to show you, always check your calendars before you go do anything at all. Live your life, check your calendar. You don't know, it might be, run over the first guy you see on the street day, and you walk out onto the street, and that's it. It's over for you. So always check your calendars, and honestly, calendars can save lives big time, and we'll learn more about that in just a bit. We do have, again, very special guest, Zainab Khuwaja Ali, my dear friend from high school, now an esteemed lawyer for the corporate world, as well as works really hard to make that balance. I think that balance is necessary. What balance I'm talking about? When you're working hard for the folks who already have all the money, it's important to also work for those who, may not, so you kind of keep a little balance in the world, and I think it's very necessary. It makes the world go round, this balance that we're talking. It's a balancing act I think we should all have accomplished by a certain time, in my opinion. But then again, there's no specific age. Everybody should learn on their own on how to balance the physical world and the spiritual world. If you're religious, if you're not religious, it doesn't matter. The spiritual world can just be like believing in the universe and karma. I think, in my opinion, that's another way to look at it without having the fuzz of religion on there for a lot of folks that aren't religious at all. So I think it's very important to have that balance, and my next guest will talk about that. And I'll be talking about it almost in every episode possible. In the previous 2 episodes as well, you probably saw that happen. But again, my goal in life is always to make the world laugh and turn this melting pot that we live in, called Earth, or the cities and states that you live in, this planet, this melting pot, into a melting potluck, where each and every person inhabiting it can bring something amazing to the table from their individual perspectives and their diverse cultures. So then we can all eat like a potluck, right? Melting pot, potluck, ta-da! That's right. I married the two because I'm in a marrying mood. Get it? I'm getting married. The point is, anyways, we're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to have again the amazing, talented Zainab Khuwaja Ali in the studio with us, answering our questions, and pretty much, I don't know, she's got some surprise questions for me too. So let's see how that goes. Sit tight. This is Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani on NCV Houston. We'll be back.
Stafford is a strong and diverse community, seeking a strong and diverse leader.
Stafford is in desperate need of professional, new leadership.
AJ Honore is a leader who is innovative, a leader who is creative, and a leader who is all about the people of Stafford.
I know he cares about Stafford because he dedicates his time and his effort, and he's done his research and homework about how to make our city better.
I will always work for the interests of the human soul of every person in Stafford.
Vote for AJ Honore in the runoff elections as your next mayor.
During the season's best sales event, Ron Carter Cadillac delivers 0% APR for 72 months plus $2,500 bonus cash on all 2020 XT4, XT5, and XT6. Or drive 2020 XT4 Luxury Collection only $299 a month. 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury Collection just $369 a month. And first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury Collection just $399 a month. All for 39-month lease with just $1 down.
RonCarterCadillac.com. When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service, striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Welcome back to Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani on NCV Houston. Thank you all so much for joining us. Again, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. That's right. And as mentioned prior to this segment, we do have a very special guest in the studios live with us. I am so excited to have her because this is episode 3, and I couldn't have had her sooner. And busy schedule. Pakistani-born, American-raised, corporate lawyer by day, philanthropist by night, wife, daughter, sister, all the amazing titles that go with it, life. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Zainab Khuwaja Ali. Come on down.
Hi, Anil.
Welcome. Hi, Zainab. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. As great as can be. And thank you so much for taking the time out because got quite the schedule, I gotta say.
Definitely. I had to squeeze you in, you know.
Yes. And so this is what friendship, this is true friendship right here.
Right.
Friends till the end.
Had to pay back for all those samples from Victoria's Secret you got me.
Yes. Just to clarify, when she says that, I'm a happily married man and she's a happily married woman. I did work at Victoria's Secret for about 10 years ago. So, and honestly, if it wasn't for that job and those ear piercings we wore during the hours of crazy shopping, I don't know if I would have made it in television today because of the fact that, you know, they're also yelling in my ears, you know, here and there. But thank you for that vivid memory to describe my background. But yeah, so Victoria's Secret days, crazy times. And look where we are 10 years later. And this is, you're a philanthropist now. You're, working with pro bono cases for the legal clinics throughout Houston, working in Pakistan, as well as supporting hubby as well in his endeavors, and all these amazing things. And I gotta ask you, how, who, what, when, where, how, and why? Actually, did I say how already? But how do you manage?
Google Calendar is amazing, and I've mastered it in so many different ways. So I have to schedule reminders for almost everything I do. Okay. But I think it's just, why not live life to the fullest? True. Why just settle for, you know, the bare minimum? And it's that drive that I've learned from my father. in me to be able to achieve as much as possible in the lifetime you have. So I just enjoy it. I enjoy being a workaholic to an extent, but I've learned that, every area in your life needs your attention and time, and you need it too. You need to give yourself time.
True.
So I do things I enjoy. I do things I love, and that's why.
The Khuwaja Welfare Association, KWA, and you gave me a little mask. Just I don't want to put it on because I know y'all want to see this beautiful face. But the point is, the KWA, right? Yes. This is an amazing organization. Please tell me more about it because I know more about it. I guess our amazing viewers would love to hear more as well.
Absolutely. It all started in 2016, but more than that, it started 200 years ago. My forefathers, 200 years ago, my forefathers were immigrants, and they were migrating towards Sindh province, which is, they settled in this village called Jangshai, and that's about 63 kilometers from Karachi. Wow. And they settled there. They were merchants, they were tradesmen, and then they just established the family there. Wow. So today, if you go to this village, we have a family home that's over 200 years old. And we have, established relationships not only with the locals now, but their ancestors. So we've grown with the community. So it only made sense that as those kids from those families grew up, moved to Karachi, got education, came to America, Dubai, went to other places, now it's all about this diaspora. What can you do for those kids who lack the resources? How can you uplift them out of poverty? So my parents are physicians. This is my dad's dream. True. And I'm just supporting him. I'm like his assistant, by the way. Don't think I'm like the boss or anything. I'm not.
But donor relations and so much.
So I think I bring the structure my dad needs and the support my dad needs because I've worked with many service organizations like Aga Khan Foundation and, done many other works around the philanthropy that he also needs to, kind of be within. So bringing my experience from my volunteer work into this is the structure. He has the ideas and I have the process. And together we make this team. And my mom's in there somewhere looking over us to make sure we don't screw up.
That's what moms are for, right?
Exactly. And so she does, it's a family thing, but at the same time, it's not just us, our extended family members, anyone else that my parents have associated with. It's a KWA family. Wow. It's not just the Khuwaja family. Wow. And anyone who comes to us with an idea, with a thought, with anything, we try to make it happen. So 2016, my dad decided that now it was time. He has done some small, seminars and small medical camps throughout the years, but this was the time he felt that he needs to make that plunge and do something big. Now, in this day and time, if you are unwell, you go to the hospital.
True.
Right? You're sick, you're like, 911, I'm sick.
Or as a desi, just get a whole bunch of turmeric and just snort it. No, don't just snort it. Turmeric is just, used for everything for desis. But if turmeric doesn't work, we go to the hospital.
And my dad, he'll tell you, all the things he does to stay active at the age of 65. Wow. But 2016, he's like, let's do this. And we're like, how do we get everyone to a seminar? You're trying to do a seminar in a village where the girls and women don't even come out.
Right.
So what are you going to do? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, free stuff.
Free stuff. And you zoom in on my face, then you zoom in on her face, and then free stuff.
So free stuff. And we're like, what do we give away for free? So I had all these ideas, and my dad's like, backpacks. Kids don't have backpacks. Beautiful. They don't have shoes to wear to school. They don't have supplies to go to school with. They don't have supplies to do their homework with. So let's get supplies. Let's get backpacks. Wow. And so my dad's sisters, who are, retired teachers from the education field, they went and conducted these seminars on how to be sanitary.
There you go.
And if you attend, you get school supplies. The next session was, why is educating your child important? And guess what? Once again, so it was incentivizing through means of providing, the basic resources, which was attracting them to come because we're talking about people who don't have homes. They don't have shelter. They don't have water. They don't have bathrooms. They have a lot of issues in rural development that we need to change. So how are we going to do that? We have to teach them how to fish, not hand them the fish.
True.
So guess what? We start building that infrastructure that tells them, hey, you can go to a hospital and you only have to pay 30 cents, which is the equivalent of their fee right now.
Wow, 30 cents? Are you for real?
And no, you don't need insurance. You can always go to the KWA clinic, 30 cents, and a doctor will see you and give you medicine within that amount.
Amazing.
And that is the cost for a patient.
Holy smokes. That is groundbreaking work and research that y'all had to probably do just to do that. Congratulations on the success so far. And that's really like the most amazing way, like that's like the most interesting family business idea, or not even business, but family, like a project to take on. Because you got your dad's sisters who are, retired, teachers. So with that, they're using their plethora or their knowledge and their understanding of how to teach, and especially in these countries, and then applying this new model to be able to help so many out there with their sanitary and overall living and quality of life.
Yeah.
And so, I got to ask, working with your father, that must be interesting, right? To say the least. Because, we came to America with my mother. She was a single mom. She worked her tail off. So I didn't get a chance to work with my father, but my uncles I did. So just hanging out with the uncles during work was one thing, but working with them and actually like taking part in all these things, I'm sure it's a totally different experience. And so, describe your relationship when it comes to your father and working with him.
So my father and I are the most identical people in the family. Our personalities and our mannerisms are exactly the same.
Oh, wow.
However, my dad and I, there's a definite generation gap.
Okay.
Where we see social media as a benefit to market and create awareness.
True.
They value WhatsApp.
They value WhatsApp. Your father's generation,
yes. So
okay.
We, I lead donor relations and digital communications, but my father also thinks he can do that, even though he has his own area to overlook the foundation, to overlook the day-to-day development, all the projects and partnerships. He still thinks he needs to do the marketing piece, and he still thinks he needs to do it through WhatsApp. And so one of the issues with WhatsApp is it's really easy to forward.
True.
And I like to, take the footage we get, take the coverage we get, take the photos we get, and put it together in a professional presentation. My father likes to forward everything on WhatsApp.
Happy birthdays, Navroz Mubarak, and Happy New Year's.
So in the middle of the night, he's going to say, oh my God, look at this baby goat that just came to the village. Or look, the cow's using the solar panel powered water well. And I'm just like, Dad, what are you doing? I hope this is only coming to me, because every Sunday when we have our meeting, I audit my dad.
You audit your father?
Yeah, and I'm like, what did you do this week? And so I think he's a little scared of me sometimes, but I really do enjoy working with him because I feel like I'm bringing his vision to life. I think he understands what he does, and he knows he's in trouble because he'll start falling. Like, he's like, oh, I'm sleepy. Let's do this later. And I'm like, no, you're going to sit here and you're going to listen to me.
Oh, my God.
So,
I'm having flashbacks, like PTSD of the times where I got in trouble with not doing my homework or throwing it away or just blaming some inanimate or just imaginary dog for eating it or something.
Yes.
Wow.
And so that's my dad, the WhatsApp king. And so we have now taught him how to use social media, how to, well, at least not use it, but refer people to it. So we can build that relationship and build that awareness in the right direction. But he thinks that there's a very different way of interacting with his generation in a different way. And so I let my dad do his own marketing at times, but I think the intention is if the knowledge and the awareness is being reciprocated, then nothing else matters, right? Whichever way you do it. I've learned this the hard way. So I now let him do exactly what he wants, as long as, we can kind of see eye to eye on some things. But I love working with my dad. I think he's an inspiration. The amount of work he does as a physician, as a dad, as a volunteer at the age of 65.
Wow.
It is amazing. And so it gives me energy to do more. And I want to be there when I'm the age of 65.
There you go.
So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Off the air, I remember you said something, and then I just took a little snippet of it. But it's not the money you make, it's the awareness you create.
Yeah.
Is that something that you kind of learn
Yeah.
along the lines of this foundation? Or?
Absolutely. I think the awareness part is more important than how many people donate or how we raise the funds to do the projects we do. We started with my dad's, own funds and whatever he had on his own.
Yeah.
We didn't have any donors. We didn't have any supporters. We didn't have any contributions. It was just what we had. And that was enough to achieve what we needed. But now that we've grown, initially in 2016, the idea was working towards healthcare, because that's the field my parents are most affiliated in. As they got deeper and deeper, now there's these rural areas that don't have water. People don't have homes. So today, we build water wells, we install solar energy, we look at community building centers. We're building a learning center right now, and the most important thing that we've achieved this year, we have been able to build up to 75 family homes for 4 to 8 people each, 4 to 8 members in the family each, and we have a total of 130 to go towards.
Holy smokes.
So we've been able to complete 70-ish, and we have that many to go. But earlier this year, we had 0.
You went from 0 to 100,
Exactly.
real quick.
Yes. And so these are homes that many people have been able to honor in their own family's name in memory of somebody, or just plain anonymously donated. But to give a family a home, can you guess how much it's going to be, just approximately?
Give them a home. You're
A
saying
home.
that they have no shelter whatsoever,
No.
and you're going to build.
I'm talking tarp. I'm talking those who understand Urdu. Jhompri is the term.
Jhompri.
Or like something that's made with straw, makeshift homes.
Jhompri, okay.
Wash away with rain every year,
Like a
remake
hut.
it.
Oh.
Like a hut.
Holy smokes. Wow.
Yeah, so guess how much it costs to give a family a home?
$1,000, a couple G's. Yeah, I don't know, a couple grand.
So $500.
Not even a grand. Half
No,
a grand.
half a grand.
Half a grand for a home for.
Home, permanent home, with we try to provide them a charpai, which is a kind of like a bed, which they're more used to and comfortable with.
Yeah.
A roof above their heads.
Wow.
A communal bathroom for ladies and gents that we install.
Okay.
A communal kitchen, giving them some civilization so they start coming out of their poverty state.
Yeah.
And move into the next stage in life. Send their kids to get educated. So we're working with all these organizations. We're now working with Aga Khan Education Services, and we are going to start a program called Adopt a Student, where you or anyone else interested can give a child a scholarship who's in need to get them to that next level.
Wow.
So it's amazing, because we only started with the idea, we'll build a clinic, we'll have doctors, we'll manage it, we'll provide all the resources, supplies, and now it's homes, it's wells, it's energy, it's learning, it's everything. And now, I mean, it's just, it's so much.
Yeah.
So now we are expanding these teams on the ground. We have case managers that are within the, from the community, so the diaspora doesn't leave.
Blowing up, man. That's blowing up.
Yeah,
There you go. Wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But it keeps you grounded, because you keep on seeing what people have around the world.
Yep.
And what we can do more of, and how we can kind of give these opportunities back. So some ideas we get are a little crazy.
What's the
but
craziest idea before we take a break? Just give me the craziest idea. We're going to take a break.
My dad's trying to do a baby goat project.
A baby goat project.
Yes.
What does that entail?
So with each home, they're going to start giving a baby goat.
A baby goat.
A baby goat.
As a pet or as dinner?
Basically, it's a form of economic opportunity.
Oh, as a pet.
So they get to, not as a pet, because the
there's a
goat
third
provides
option.
milk and other resources.
Okay.
So the first to second offsprings they keep. Third offspring comes back to KWA and goes to another home.
That's amazing. That's recycling the flow.
So there's a pilot village where our case manager's doing a baby goat project. And I'm like, sure, Dad, let's do it. Like, what am I going to say no?
That's amazing.
But so now we're going to see how many baby goat we get, because over there in the area that they're in, it provides resources. And the amount of resources that we can give them that they can start earning on their own is the opportunities. Something interesting about the homes, they build it. So they get the laborers and wage earners, they get the amount, like it's like we're hiring them to build their own homes. So it's kind of like a circle, all coming together.
There you go. It's like its own circle of life that's happening right there. That's amazing.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so producers are telling me you brought me a goat?
Yeah.
You bring me a goat?
It's here.
No?
It's from Savoy.
Oh, okay, yeah, and that type of goat. All right. I never tasted goat milk. I just was excited about the goat milk. Anyways, we're going to take a very short break. Don't go anywhere. You don't go anywhere as well. We'll be back with more Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani. Very special guest, Mrs. Zainab Khuwaja Ali from the Khuwaja Welfare Association. Sit tight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back.
Stafford is a strong and diverse community, seeking a strong and diverse leader.
Stafford is in desperate need of professional, new leadership.
AJ Honore is a leader who is innovative, a leader who is creative, and a leader who is all about the people of Stafford.
I know he cares about Stafford because he dedicates his time and his effort, and he's done his research and homework about how to make our city better.
I will always work for the interests of the human soul of every person in Stafford.
Vote for AJ Honore in the runoff elections as your next mayor.
During the season's best sales event, Ron Carter Cadillac delivers 0% APR for 72 months plus $2,500 bonus cash on all 2020 XT4, XT5, and XT6. Or drive 2020 XT4 Luxury Collection only $299 a month. 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury Collection just $369 a month. And first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury Collection just $399 a month. All for 39-month lease with just $1 down.
RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service, striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Welcome back to Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani on NTV Houston. Thank y'all so much for joining us for segment number 3. I like this number them. It keeps it a little simple and organized. And of course, we have a very special guest in the studio, the amazing, talented, diversified, my friend here, Zainab Khuwaja Ali. Welcome back, Zainab. Thank you so much. And before the break, we're talking about the Khuwaja Welfare Association, KWA. I'm going to refer to it as KWA. It simplifies it a little bit. And we talked about how you work with your dad, and you kind of went over just for a second, but the audience probably doesn't know this, and now they will. But both of your parents are doctors.
Yes.
So now, how was it growing up in that type of environment where they're both doctors, and long story short, you became a lawyer? So how was that whole? Describe that whole interaction of how it ended.
Parents are both doctors. And I think as I started realizing, because my dad's background is in dermatology, and my mom was also in gynecology, but then she went into public health. So it was like you saw them through different things, but you went to your parents with work and you were like, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like the smell of hospitals. I don't like seeing patients. I don't like blood. I don't like taking shots. I mean, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I will take the vaccine, don't worry. Like, I will get my flu shot. But it was interesting. Sometimes you would open your fridge and you'll see flu shots. And I'm like, Mom, what is this? I'm just trying to look for lunch or something, that was crazy. But then my dad, I think he had this dream that at least one of his kids would become, go in the medical field. And I knew I was definitely not it. So I was pushing it on my brother. I'm like, hey, you better go to medical school because that's what Dad wants, And my dad he's like, I always imagined seeing you in a white coat. And I'm like, how do I do that? Do I just wear a white coat one day and surprise him? But that's the value he had in the white coat that he wears.
Oh, yeah.
So it was interesting, but they were so supportive of alternative careers. They have always supported me in any endeavor I've ever wanted, to the point where my dad, I'm an artist. That's one of my greatest hobbies. And it's because of him. And it's because of my mom. They encouraged me at a young age to really develop my skills. But at the same time, you know what Desi parent would let you paint on the walls at a young age?
Forget about it. You get like something said in almost every language in my household. Gujarati, Sindhi, Urdu.
Yeah.
Came together.
I went to my dad, I was like, I ran out of canvases. What do I do? He's like, paint on the walls, beta. And I was like, okay, don't tell mom, but paint on the walls. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So my dad has this theory that the more you give a child at a young age, the more resources you give them, they explore their options.
Wow.
They really get to understand what they like and what they don't like.
Right.
So he has motivated me to, do my internships. When I was younger, he told me to go to debate, and like practice different things that I may enjoy.
Yeah.
And then when I was in the pre-law track, he helped me get internships with the local congressman and whatnot. And so it was because of these encouragements that I was able to get the experience I did. Yeah, so very interesting that I became a lawyer and coming from a, pair of doctors as parents. Interestingly enough, they always have an opinion on your health. You could cough once, and the next thing you know, your mom's like trying to give you something. Your dad's analyzing why you coughed, And when I was growing up, I was a teenager. You have breakouts, like you're stressed sometimes.
Acne and all, yeah.
And it was the end of the world for my dad. Like, what did you do to your face? Why are you breaking out? Did you wear makeup? And I'm like, come on, man. Like, let me live my life.
Now I remember freshman year, first day, Clemens High School. You didn't have makeup where I saw everybody else in the crowd, all our, Desi friends, everyone's freshman year, gotta look good, get the whole thing going. And you're just like simple.
Very simple.
Just make you chilling like a villain. Right?
Yep. And so my dad was like, if there's any, and he would like, give my mom and I like tips on how to scrub our faces, how to do different things. Like he's just, always engaged and involved and cares so much about you. Anyone will come to him and he'll try to solve their problems. And so I love that about my dad, that he's just someone that cares, has compassion. I love my mom too, don't get me wrong. I know I talk about my dad a lot, but
when you add the two, it's like you kind of felt it. It was kind of
like,
forced.
My mom knows she's my best friend. I love her. She's like my support system.
Wow.
But my dad's my someone I look up to on a day-to-day basis. And he's taught me that through struggles in life, they came to America, they had kids, they came on the basis of education. And so my dad worked all sorts of odd jobs while they were both in school. I probably attended more graduations for them before I even had a high school graduation.
So tell me about this. You said your brother, you kind of pushed him into the medical field, like, Mom, Dad, I want you to do this. So I don't have to do it. So what was that like? And your brother?
I think he was into it because he's like, yeah, I'm going to be the doctor. And I'm like, yeah, you be the doctor. And I think his abilities are so vast, and he's good at everything. He is he's that golden child who's like, the brightest kid, good at everything. He's literally good at everything.
Wow.
So I was like, he's gonna be the one. Mom, watch, he'll be a doctor. But nope, his journey also came towards law, and he's also studying right now at U of H, second year law student. And he's going to be a lawyer, inshallah, and a good one, I hope, so I can retire and do this full time. And my brother got me.
There you go. That's what's up. See, that sibling love. I love hearing stories about that, being a only child. I think it's very endearing. It's very beautiful, and that's what's up.
I've learned to love my brother in many ways. We have a difference in our personalities, but I think that's a good thing because we balance each other off.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of him. He has, really explored and challenged himself. He graduated third in his high school class.
Nice.
Went to UPenn, and then when he graduated from UPenn, guess who was in his graduation?
I can't. You told me this. Yeah, was it a president of some sort?
Well, so not only the president that just lost the election, and yes, guys, he did lose the election. Donald Trump's daughter, Tiffany Trump, and she was graduating. So was Joe Biden's granddaughter. So my dad was on WhatsApp, back again. He's like snapping Joe Biden and, you know, everything else, any movement. And we're like, your son's graduating. Do you want to watch him? So it was so interesting that we were all able to experience that. So it brings you back to these like very special moments we've had as a family. We've learned to adapt to each other's personalities. And hold each other as a, you know, together and support each other through all the different phases in life.
That's wonderful. That's what's up. And I think that's very important to have that understanding with your family. And kudos to you guys in doing what you're doing as a family, this whole organization. And so aside from, you know, being the daughter, the big sister, next chapter in life was, of course, getting married, right?
Yeah.
So, and the best part about this is two of my friends got married to each other, so it felt even more exciting. And thanks for having me at the wedding as well. I'll find a wedding picture somewhere.
You
but
should.
Yeah, we'll do that. But I think most of it is just us just in the water, just being thrown into the water. And I think that's the reason why I broke my phone the first day we got to the wedding. Like, I'm like, it's gonna be the best wedding ever, just like your father was at the graduation. Like, oh my God, Trump. And so I'm over here like, oh my God, Mexico, I love the country. And then 5 minutes later, Cancun swallowed my water, my phone. The Cancun water swallowed my phone. Right?
Well.
So all in all, but it's exciting that, you know, you married my friend and my friend married you, so it's exciting. And then now, you know, as a married couple, how has that, you know, impacted your trajectory? Because being a corporate lawyer is no joke. You know, working on this foundation is no joke, because these are some serious things. You're impacting the livelihood of so many people out there, knowingly and unknowingly. And so I wonder what it's like now to manage that, as well as be a Wife of the Year candidate.
Candidate. I better win. I'm joking. I think when I got married to my husband, Kamran, I gained an additional set of parents, and I gained additional set of siblings. I never had sisters, although there's doubts about my brother, you know. He loves Candle Day. He bought 16 candles, guys, and he made sure they didn't run out, and he got all his favorite scents on. So shout out to Bath & Body Works for making my brother's day a couple days ago.
Also a Victoria's Secret neighbor, sister company. I guess, are we getting sponsored by, no, we're not? Okay,
no, we're not. So I have two sisters. They're sister-in-laws, but they're my sisters. One is, they're both younger than I am, but they're kind of like, you know, the sisterly bonds that you ever wanted growing up. I have that now. Oh, wow. So Kamran's sisters, and then his parents are amazing. They're actually really good friends with my parents, so they support all KWA work. They support me entirely, and they're really proud. I think my mother-in-law brags more about me than her own son. So I'm like, oh, I'm the favorite, you know, like you like that. But it's so nice to have, it's a blessing to have them in my life. Being a wife, especially, it's so important now that you're married, you know, some married advice. You're always friends first, you know, see your significant other as your biggest support system, as your best friend, and know that they try to understand things from their perspective. Kamran and I are polar opposites. We are very different individuals, but we come together as one. And I'm able to do all of this because of him.
Wow.
There's no way anyone can achieve all the things they want in life without the support of, you know, their loved ones. So my family, my entire family, which means my in-laws plus my, you know, parents and my brother and everyone, I think it's such a great, you know, like when they're in a room together, I just step back and I'm like, wow, they're all interacting normally. There's no drama. Okay, you know, it's nice because I see, I mean, I guess my mom, you know, she is a normal parent. She does watch dramas. And, you know, I'm like always concerned about, you know, what's going on in her head. But as just those normal interactions, you know, you see your families get together, interact, enjoy each other's company, and it makes you so happy.
Do you watch the dramas with your mother?
I do. So does my brother. And we try to critique them, but we let her watch them because that's her escape. You know, that's her way of like relaxing. So we let her do what she wants. And I think when she sees, especially Pakistani dramas, she sees a bit of home.
Really?
And my parents, their goal is that in the next few years, they want to spend more time in Pakistan. And they do go make their visits every year, but they want to go be home. They want to be around, you know, their organization, and they want to do more work. They have lots of connections and a huge network there in the medical industry, but now in the education sector. So it's so important for them to find their outlet. And so I say this, like, try to understand what everyone's needs are and let them have it.
Yeah, real talk. There you go. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's amazing work there. And plus, hubby Kamran also having his own, bespoke company for suits. I see you wearing one of his items right now.
Compliments of being married to a bespoke tailor. He did make me the suit.
Very nice.
It was my first bespoke suit by him. That's his passion. He's an engineer by day, and he's a designer by night.
Wow.
His passion project started 2 years ago, and that's when I was like, okay, let me try to help you bring some structure so you don't go crazy on WhatsApp like my dad does.
Right.
So I'm really super proud wife because it's not easy to start something from scratch, and it's very tough to make something where you will be heavily critiqued.
Right.
And there have been, some bumps along this journey, but what makes me so happy is that there is this energy and there's this drive to do better in life. And the more we do for us, the more we can do for others. So it all comes back, and it really keeps this, a positive energy in our families, in our lives. It keeps us happy and engaged. He's also part of the board. He actually designed our logo, and he worked on our website design. So everyone plays a part in their own way.
Beautiful. And you said some words that Rana just touched a nerve. Everything comes back, like in full circle, right? So 10 years ago, when I moved from Phoenix to Houston to restart my life and go back to school, and I got my first job back in Houston at Victoria's Secret, working in college.
Perfume samples.
You do what you gotta do, In order to be old and wise, one must be young and dumb. And so I did what I had to do. You do what you gotta do during college to kind of, get through it. And so around that time, you were big into painting and drawing and sketching and all that. And so at that time, there was no mechanism such as Facebook Live or a platform that would let you just put everything up immediately. So every so often, randomly, like I'm having a tough day, I'll get like a painting picture of something in calligraphy, and it would be like an artwork piece that you just worked on, and I'll just kind of blast it on Facebook and do whatever I could to kind of like spread it as much as possible, because even I am also an art advocate, and really it doesn't take much to be an artist, in my opinion. Anything you create that's from the soul, like from your own expression, I think that makes you an artist. Like even being here in front of this cameras, talking to an actual artist of all this canvas work that you do, I still feel like I'm a bit of an artist as well. So I kind of understand that, especially with radio. So I fully understand what you mean by what you say. And so now I'm curious, how has that passion for art impacted your trajectory overall? Because I feel like it impacts everybody in one way or another. So how has that impacted who you are today?
Initially, it was an outlet. Okay, I'm gonna paint because I need my own time and I want to enjoy something.
Wonderful.
Then when I went through college and I was in a pre-law track, coming out of the post 9/11 era, battling Islamophobia as an American Muslim, it is important that we do our part to at least put a positive face of Islam and Muslims out there. It's not always about advocating heavily and aggressively. It's also about integrating it into the culture, integrating it into your neighborhoods, So I did my part, but more than anything, I'm like interfaith art. Let me find phrases and words and things that are very common in nature with other religions and cultures, and let me try to do it in Arabic, and let me try to do it in the Islamic connotation. And let me bring my religion, my faith, my culture all into it. Beautiful. Like that melting pot that you always talk about.
Melting potluck, yeah.
Exactly. So bringing it all together. So it was my outlet, but now it became my voice. So art is my voice. I put it out there not only to complete a space, to complete a vibe, but more than anything, to put something out there that means something, that makes someone stop and say, this is Islamic art. This is very peaceful. This is very positive. And this is something that shows to the future. Beautiful. So recently, as part of the Islamic Art Society's art festival, virtual art festival, 66 other artists showcase works that were amazing. I'm still an emerging artist, by the way. I still think of myself as a baby artist.
Yeah.
And so as I'm growing, I'm making those networks and connections to really kind of solidify my thoughts and ideas and project them through my art.
There we go.
So yeah, it's my outlet, but it's also my voice.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So man, so much has been covered here. I can't even believe it. Time flew by faster than I could even imagine. To learn more about KWA, where can everyone go?
So you can go on our website, kwapakistan.com. You can also go on our Facebook, go on our Instagram, KWA Pakistan, once again. And we also have an email, so if you want to get in touch with us, info@kwapakistan.com. The parent organization is called KWA Foundation, and then Khuwaja Welfare Association is who we operate under. So I really appreciate all the time and your energy and your vibes. Like, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just so happy that we're able to make this happen because, you know, it's been a long time coming. And thank you again for squeezing me into your crazy schedule. And truly appreciate it. And, you know, look forward to hearing from you and with more updates in the near future. So thank you again and congratulations on all the success. And for Late Night Vibes, it's been a true honor and privilege to have this show today. I want to thank everybody out there and part of the production. I truly appreciate it backstage and everywhere else that y'all have been watching this on. So check us out on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram as well for Late Night Vibes on NTV Houston. That's LNVNTVH. So at LNVNTVH. And stay tuned for more to come. For Late Night Vibes with Anil Suhani, I'm Anil Suhani. And I don't know how to sign off usually, so I'm just going to say H-Town till I stay down.